All right, everybody. So it is March 26th, about 10:30 in the morning. On with me is Patrick Readyhough from Pond Roofing, and Patrick's been awesome lately. I don't know. We met about a year ago, or a little more than that, right?
We met a few years ago at a certainty thing, but then I came to Accelerate last year and this year, and we've been working together for the past year. So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome guy. In the middle of all of this madness that we are all going through, last week, Patrick sends me an email that literally had me, well, I shouldn't say literally, I'm starting to sound like my kids now, but I was inside my head, I was doing just like jumping up and down for joy. It was an amazing email of, why don't you sum it up for us? You don't have to, don't give all the details, but why don't you sum up that email for us? And generally, my question to during these conversations is, what are you thinking? What are you feeling? And what are you doing? I should just say this, it's Thursday. Last night, the Senate passed the bill, which as business owners, we still don't really quite know how that's going to affect us or impact us. What we know is that there's going to be a lot of stimulus, a lot of recovery money. There's going to be what's really exciting to me and is the ability to go and borrow money, which we've never done. I don't think you have either, Patrick.
No.
Most of my clients have not had to borrow money to grow their businesses, but in times like this, we got to do what we have to do. And so they're talking about a program where it's relatively quick and simple to get a loan that it represents about 2 months of payroll, I believe. And I'll tell you what, if we can all get our hands on that, that's a total game changer. Because if
Sure.
we can get our payroll covered and we can sell enough to cover just our minimum expenses and overhead, we'll
Right.
ride this thing out. And when it turns back around, I think in May, I think we can all be in a really good position. So
I agree.
that's the backdrop of where we're at. But even in the middle of all of this crap, this guy sends me an email. And sum it up for us, Patrick.
Well, Brian, I've been listening to your podcast, and I heard, the first one or two calls. I mean, it was the first short call like this that you had done, and it fired me up, and I thought, Brian's out here doing this great work, and maybe he could use some extra, news about what people are doing to, because I'm rolling around feeling an overall sense of progress. I just got to make progress. Focus on progress each day keeps my head in the right place, and because we're going to come out of this, so we just got to keep moving forward on things. So I just wanted to send you a couple of thoughts. So if you were talking to somebody who couldn't get their mind in the right direction, hey, there are, here's what we're doing over here, not necessarily like to combat what's going on, but just here are some things that we're still doing, to feel like we're making progress. And it was just basically, I'm still ordering windows. I don't know when I can install them, but we're ordering them. I'm, paid for some new software for presentations. I didn't do it just because I want to be able to present remotely. It was in the works, but it was $5,000 out of my pocket that I wasn't going to hold that back. We need to make progress. So we did that anyway. A couple other things, personal things that, we're still moving forward on, building a house. Like, these things have to keep going. And hitting the send button on $25,000 worth of window orders was like, just fired me up. I was like, yeah, we're installing those windows sooner or later. Let's get them. And, so I just felt like, maybe if you were talking to somebody, they could use some news like that,
Well, I think, I think we can all use some news like that. One of the things that we are working really hard to do is keep all of our staff, and
Yep.
and continue providing as much value to our clients as we can, which I know is what you are doing also. You're kind of stepping
Right.
that up even.
Yep.
You know, one of the things, and Patrick, I hope you don't mind my sharing this.
Not at all.
One of the reasons why I believe that you can be confident and you can pull the trigger on some of these things is that over the last year or two,
Sure.
you've really focused on your profit model.
Right.
I haven't talked in any of these conversations with anybody about profit model. That was a conversation we were all having. You know, I was gung ho on profit model 3 or 4 weeks ago. And by the way, in the next couple weeks, I'm going to be doing more talk about that so that we can all prepare ourselves and get ready when this thing turns back on.
Sure.
But had that work, all of that work that you were doing to essentially shore up your profit model, is that part of what has given you the confidence that you've got now to just kind of keep pressing forward?
Absolutely. Cause I'm sitting here going, okay, we've got some cash in reserves. And so if we can just get this much work in and get this much done to, handle this part, and, then we've got, if we got to blow through a little bit of our cash reserves, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to be here on the other side, so what's my continuity plan? I got to protect the core of my business, but we have to keep spending on marketing. We can't just disappear to people. They need to see us. And so as soon as this thing starts to turn around, they're like, oh, those guys didn't miss a beat. Does that mean we might move some money from one thing to another within marketing and advertising and maybe try to shrink the overall spend? Of course, a little bit of that. There might be a few people that I can't keep on. But I got this core group that I need them with me on the backside of this. So whatever I got to do to protect that, I'm going to do it. If it's stimulus money, if it's company savings, worst case, personal savings, like this machine has to be intact on the backside of this. And so every day I just work towards that. I just got.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I'm not going to sit here and try to tell somebody like I'm Superman and I'm bulletproof from like the negative thoughts completely or the worries or anything. Like I'm not sitting here, hey, business as usual. But it's an overall attitude of progress, stay the course as much as possible with a few variations to the formula. And certainly our profit, it allows us to keep that attitude. But, on top of that, I start every day making sure I spend some time getting myself into the right mindset. So when I go to the office and when I talk to my people, some of which are working remotely, they hear progress. They hear we're going to be on the backside of this thing in good shape. So it's important right now.
And it's not easy, is it? I mean,
it's not, hard. Man. I mean, there's mornings I wake up and I'm laying there. I'm like, oh, okay. Cause that first thought is, what do I have? Something maybe negative. And I got a note on my door that says, you're going to feel better once you're moving. So I get moving. I walk out the front door with my dog and I walk up and down my street and I literally talk to my dog and I tell him, man, hey dog, my dog's name is Rick. Hey Rick, so grateful this morning for my wife Cindy and what she's doing to keep the kids in order, and so grateful for the staff that I've got. I say it out loud. I come back to the house. I feel up. I'm ready to put my mind to work on the tasks of the day. But I've got to start with being grateful for what I've got, and it programs my brain to look for opportunities rather than focusing on problems.
Yeah.
We have to right now be very careful about what we let into our brains and spend time on. I mean, you say it in your book, right? Like, what are you letting into your mind? What are you spending your time on? What are you thinking about? Are these thoughts problems or solutions? You better focus on solutions. don't dwell on problems, because
Yeah.
it's a downward spiral.
Yeah. And look, and this is temporary. As
Right.
as destructive as it's been, I guess there's no other way.
Sure.
Let's call a spade a spade. It's
Yeah.
destructive what's going on. But it's going to end. This is the United States of America. I just heard this morning, I think it was this morning, um, surprisingly, aside from the spike in unemployment that happened this morning, the numbers that came out this morning, but surprisingly, according to the Fed, the 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 economy is still sound.
Sure.
Not sure how that will be a month from now, and
Right.
whether or not this is going to go another, that much longer. It might, but it was kind of interesting to hear the Fed chairman say, "Well, the economy is sound. This is not an economic problem."
Right.
And so I love your attitude, and you're always so like upbeat and positive. And I thought, man, these are the types of people that I want to share with our community. And a lot of people are feeling hurt right now, and they're
Yeah.
down, and their confidence is low. And I hope by sending these messages out there and talking with people like you, that we can encourage people to stay the course, not give up. This is temporary.
Yeah.
Did I show you this?
Stay active through
April.
April. I like it.
Yeah, we just as I think an hour ago, we just blasted this out to our list.
I love it.
And this is our mantra.
Stay active
Stay
through
active
April.
through April. Hashtag SEDA. One of the things, by the way, my friend, if you would look at that email, there's instructions on there. And for anybody that's listening, what we're looking for 1 minute or less videos just from your phone. 1 minute or less videos, just offering words of inspiration, encouragement, advice, solutions, whatever, to the community, to the Wealthy Contractor community. We're going to be posting those on the Wealthy Contractor Facebook page. And so if you can record one of those for us, that would be really awesome.
Sure.
Yeah, for those of you that are on our list, you'll look for that email. You'll see it. It's hashtag SEDA. And then, and for those of you that are not on our list, get on our list. Go to thewealthycontractor.com, and you'll get access to all of the stuff that we're doing here to get through this. All right, so I talked enough. Do you have any parting words here? Because I know you got to get back to work.
No, I mean, look, I can't tell people what to do within their businesses, but I can say without a doubt that right now, more than ever, if you're a business owner, your people are watching you. You need to be a leader. You need to be a leader in your family. You need to, if you've never been one for self-improvement type stuff, the Tony Robbins stuff, if you shun that, now's the time to just dig into something like that. Start, find a gratitude practice. It's amazing if you can program your brain to look for opportunities and not fears first thing in the morning, and maybe shut it down at night by writing down your wins for the day. Such a simple thing to do, and so important right now. I mean, I've even got my children doing it. My daughter, she's 10, she's writing her gratitudes down every day. She does affirmations. My son does the same thing. And it's kind of helping to hold things together in the house while the kids are home with my wife trying to do some sort of schoolwork. So, mindset is key right now, and whatever you can do to protect that, it will help you get through the other hard work of the day. That's
awesome,
all. I mean, that's it.
You're the best, man. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
No, we appreciate you, Brian. It's awesome that you're doing these. I know it's helping people, because it's helping me.
Great.